Well, for Mr. Ike, we go to Mrs. Nelson, who I guess had a pretty adventurous day today, because we've each had a day to find what we thought were the coolest things going on at the fair. And you found the, and say it for me, bonsai?
Bonsai. It's not bonsai, it's bonsai. And I am not the only person, obviously, that thinks this is one of the coolest things. It's one of the best and most visited exhibits at the Horticulture Building. And we had Mr. Ken Ellis, who's been a bonsai gardener for 40 years, give us a tour. So take a look.
Started with the Minnesota Bonsai Society. They had 12 members, and I was number 13 in the group. And we've since grown now over to several hundred.
Would you call it gardening, or would you call it artistry, or is it both?
There's really an interesting meld between the artistry of it and the horticultural part of it, and it's a melding of those two together.
What are some of the very basic things you need to know to start?
We're looking for an interesting shape. We're interested for a trunk that comes out with an aged look to it, because what this is the illusion of age, not necessarily how old it is. Some sorts of left-right movement, and usually it's a step form. Usually we're working in a triangular of an unequal triangle.
But then there's a lot of pruning and clipping, correct?
Continually.
And so is that what gives the trunk the odd shape? Does that
yes,
help?
that's one of the things that we'll do it. The other is that we actually put copper wire or anodized aluminum wire, and that's wound in a spiral around the branch, and then we can take and it will hold that shape.
So it doesn't bother you when people say bonsai?
We just know they don't know what they're talking about, that's all.
So if you want to learn more about the bonsai gardening, Como Conservatory has classes, and there is a whole society here in Minnesota where you can learn more. If you want to check it out here at the fair, go to the Horticulture Building. There's also a big orchid exhibit today, and it's free.
That is very cool. You're talking to a guy who can weed his own garden.
I know, that's why it's so impressive. I agree, I'm the same way.
Beautiful.
Well, coming up, we're going to cram a couple of my favorite guys into a photo booth and see what happens.
You know how that's going to turn out. Also, when we come back, Julie gets her roller derby name. The Minnesota